start. Hello, everyone. As always, this is Mind the Talk podcast. We're doing the weekly review. Nowadays, I'm a bit slower with the editing, so it's not like weekends review anymore, but I'll do my best. So, Karina, what happened in your week?
Hello, everybody, and hello, Aki. I hope you are okay. I heard that there is a heat wave again in Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's reaching Hungary. I hear West Europe, so France is like 42, 43 degrees. I hope you're okay.
It's definitely warm.
Okay.
Like, I mean, the fact that my video is quite slow is not because of the heat wave, it's just my mobile internet. So sorry for that. But yesterday was somewhere around 35 degrees in
Mm,
Budapest. It was quite hot. And I'm
that's tough.
having my students coming over for the calligraphy courses. And yeah, they tell me because we start at 4 in the afternoon and it's still super hot outside. And we have to start with just taking a rest for a while. And then we can start off with the main topic that we're
Oh my
dealing with.
God. Yeah, that sounds
Mm.
horrible. Okay.
It's crazy. Yeah, we'll see how it's
And
gonna
no
go.
aircon, I assume.
No, definitely not. And that's the issue. I actually wanted to bring how do you say, the fan to the room today. Yesterday, I didn't do that because I'm pretty sure it's quite dirty at this
Mm,
point because we haven't used it in quite a long while. But it would be better to bring it so that it will be hopefully a bit more comfortable.
maybe. So hopefully your
Mm.
students won't fall from their seats
Yeah,
because of heat
I always
stroke.
bring them a bit of tea,
Ah, that's very
Japanese
nice.
mugicha, and also some snacks. So that might help a little bit, but also it's getting warmer and warmer. So we need to think about something.
Okay. I hope everything will be fine today if it's that hot.
Yeah. How is it in
Wonderful.
Japan? Is it getting, I think
Um,
it's more hot.
I don't think so. Despite the little panic attack that we had when everybody was like, the roses are blooming already. This year, the heat is going to be even worse than last year. It's still okay outside. I don't have to use the aircon yet. It's like 28, 29 degrees. It's a bit humid, but still, it's still okay to go outside and not sweat immediately. So I'm
Hmm,
surprisingly happy for June for the weather in Japan.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
But at the universities and the institutions, we already use the air cons because the students are sweating and say, "Oh, it's so hot, it's so hot." Yeah,
Hmm.
but they usually come from some sports practice or so, so they are already sweating. So of course they're hot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get that.
So how was my week? Busy, I think. We are now, oh, half of the semester is over. So we're getting to the last weeks. I think it's only 6 weeks left or so at most before the summer break is coming. So the rest of the tests we have to do, we have to coordinate how we do this, when are we going to do this? We still have a few tests left and not so many weeks left.
Mm.
So we're talking about this and doing tests and writing tests, and I'm checking all the tests. And yeah, there's just a lot to do. And this week was a bit weird because maybe it was a little too hot or not, but on Tuesday in the class, I got a bit unhinged with my students because they were not listening and were very, very loud. So I yelled at them, so they listened to me. And then I heard the comment that this was cho kowakata. So I was quite intimidated. I lost my temper
I
because they
see.
were just running around and not listening to me and wouldn't understand anything, although I explained it to them for the third or fourth time. So I was
Hmm.
like, try to match their level of, well, I'm just one person and they were all talking to each other. So I was just trying to match up with my voice too. Maybe I
Mm.
overdid it. But then again, 2 days later, I was in another class, but it's the same university and the same class, but different students. And I was wearing a red and white dotted dress, and that was mecha kawaii. So from one day I was kawaii, and then the next I was kawaii. So I was intimidating, and then yet I was sweet and cute
Yeah.
again. So I don't know. This week was crazy. How was
Yeah,
your
it sounds
week?
so. My week, just actually normal at the moment. There are a few students coming to me, like new ones who are interested in learning Japanese, and they've been contacting me, like if they could start learning Japanese with me or not.
Hmm.
And like these guys are in Germany,
Oh,
and the
wonderful.
fact that I'm not in Germany currently, and I can only teach online at the moment. And the city I'm gonna live in is gonna not be the same place as I used to
Hmm.
live. So there's gonna be a lot of moving. So I wrote to them like I would have to teach online, so I won't be able to do face-to-face classes. And then they stopped contacting me. So apparently they won't be interested in, which is wise, I think, because sometimes I really feel like it would be better for my students as well when if I could teach them face to face in
Hmm.
person. But a lot of like some of my students living in Hamburg, some of my students living in Hungary, in Budapest, in other places, blah blah.
Hmm.
So it's not going to be easy to organize something together. So it's
Yes,
just my dream, partially.
sounds like a lot of places. Yeah. And
Yeah, it
I
is.
would
It is.
assume not that many people want to learn Japanese. Like even if you're in a big city
I
like
mean,
Berlin,
yeah.
so to
I
get
mean,
a lot of students, you would have to do online, right? To get students from
yeah,
different cities who
that's
want
true.
to
That's true.
learn.
I mean, Budapest is interesting in that they have a lot of Japanese language schools, so focusing on
Really?
Japanese. They don't have multiple different languages, which is interesting. But I don't think it happens in a lot of the cities, so it's quite unique.
Mm,
And thus I have to find some opportunities online, or maybe it works most of the time better. I'm also teaching at a language school, in person, if the students want to do that.
mm.
But a lot of them end up choosing online options. So that's what
Why do you
happens.
think that is? Do you also prefer online? You said you
Ooh.
sometimes like it
Um,
when you're in person.
I think when I'm lazy, definitely, like online would be easier because you don't have to move around and
That's
you can
true.
do everything on your laptop. But it doesn't have too much flexibility, and
Mm,
you have limited amount of materials as a teacher that you can use. You can find a lot of things online, but at the same time, you won't be able to make them play with each other or have like natural conversation with each other. What I hate about like doing online classes is that I cannot bring my students together without
mm,
me. Like I always have to be part of the team, either just listening and smiling and being quiet,
yeah.
or just correcting their grammar, their sentences,
Mm,
anything that any mistakes that they make, which is not really any natural type of practice. I prefer to be have a little bit of distance from time to time so that they can relax and talk to each other as well, but it doesn't really work out online.
yeah, that's true. But you could also
Yeah.
put them into groups or teams, and then they have a
Yeah,
different room online,
I
right?
could technically, but most of the times I just have private students up
Ah,
to
okay.
two people maybe. So
Yeah,
it doesn't
then
make too much sense.
that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So that's why it would be great to, from time to time, like have some kind of projects, like some different topics, as in cultural topics, as in calligraphy that I'm doing right
Mm,
now, where they can meet up with each other in more of a mass number, so that it doesn't not everything happens online, and they can practice talking in Japanese. We can communicate in Japanese and all those things.
that's
That's kind of
nice.
my solution at the moment.
Yeah. But this is in person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you do a calligraphy course online? Is that possible?
I'm thinking, so I wouldn't teach people from zero because you have to teach how to hold the brush
Mm,
and how it works. And I think it doesn't really work too well if I would try to do that online.
okay.
But if they have some level of basis, then it wouldn't be impossible. I can take a video and send it to them, and then they can send me what they've written, and then I can like, give some advice on that.
Okay.
But that wouldn't be great either. I think I would prefer to have at least once a month in-person teaching lesson so that they can, keep up with the things that they're practicing.
Yeah, it's probably also easier to just see, I don't know if they're holding it correctly or if they're writing it correctly. It's supposed to be. Yeah, and it's easier. And
Yeah,
also, if you correct one student, other students listen and they can correct
exactly.
theirs too, which is yeah, probably not happening when you do it online or one-to-one basis. Yeah,
Yeah. And then
that's
the
true.
dimension of communication that happens there is like completely different. Yesterday, like for this course, I have three students plus me, so four people in total.
Mm,
And they talk and chat around with each other. And I love to once in a while keep a physical distance from
mm,
them, just so they can have a chat with each other. And then I would be listening to them from afar. And they were talking about like some Hungarian expressions, one of them being betintázni. It
okay.
means if you would literally translate that, be means going into some certain direction or into some places.
Mm,
And tinta is the word for ink.
okay.
And something zni makes it a verb. So it's kind of like to ink into something, which doesn't make
Okay.
any sense in English. But this expression means on its own, means in English that somebody's drunk.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
and I didn't know that. So we had a bit of like funny conversation on that as well. I know quite a few other expressions to mean the same thing, like that somebody's drunk and stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, the kind of things.
So why
So I
is
can feel that
that?
my students are more and more relaxed when they can talk to each other like that,
Okay.
rather than we're sitting online and having class over there is not,
Yeah,
it
and it's
doesn't
fun.
give them that freedom. Yeah, definitely. And for
Okay.
me as well, just listening to them.
Yes, and you can learn something
Yeah,
even
exactly.
more. Yes, I learn a lot from my students, especially what is now in, what everybody is listening to or watching or I don't know, collecting. So yeah, I ask them and they explain it to me when they have something with them on their pencil or so that I don't know. So I feel very out of touch most of the time. When they
Hmm.
try to explain to me, oh, this is this or that, or they try to explain to me a new expression that the youth is using right now. So I'm just like, yeah, okay. But it's the same in Germany. So I sometimes, at some universities, we have interns and we have teaching assistants and they are students. So I often have to check with them if that is still the case in Germany or not, if I'm just a dinosaur and I don't know anymore. And most of the time it still is okay. But yeah, sometimes new
Mm.
things just pop up like a new expression or so that I've never heard
Hmm.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm very
for
old,
sure.
you know. Do you know
But
what a
actually,
babo
they
is?
also bring Babu.
Yes,
No,
in New German.
I never heard of it.
Since I've lived in Korea, a babo, firstly, for me means idiot, because babo in Korean means idiot. But babo comes from Turkish immigrants, and which means that
Hmm.
you are the boss. So a lot of young people
Oh,
apparently
really?
use this word when they want to tell you, oh, you're the boss, you're a great guy or something, then you are the babo.
Uh-huh.
And yes, I've learned this. Very proud of myself for learning
Interesting.
something. Yeah, quite
Never heard.
interesting. All the different influences that come to German is really nice. I like that.
Mm,
I'm sorry, but I was
true,
interrupting
true.
you.
No, no, but I just want to say that that just happens to me as well as a Japanese teacher myself, where I don't know some certain expressions and my students would bring me something. Like it doesn't really happen too much for
Mm.
the modern, I don't know, expressions that the younger people will use. I like to think that I can still catch up with them,
Okay.
but
But you're already
I'm
too
not
old
that
too.
successful. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was a guy, I think he was a podcaster. Maybe I listened to some of his things. I don't remember exactly who it was,
Mm.
but he said there's one expression, majide in
Mm.
Japanese would mean really, but
Yeah.
in really casual conversation. And then you could shorten it into maji, and then you could even say ma, and it still means the same
Oh,
thing, just in one hiragana character.
yeah.
And I do that as well. I'm catching up with it. But this guy, I think he was around 28 or something.
Oh.
He was quite surprised to hear that. What? You can just express the same thing in one word. And yeah, he didn't know that. I
I
can still
mean,
catch up with that one. But when they start using completely different words that I'm not familiar with from different languages and stuff, I might not
yes,
understand.
that's true. Especially young people love to just take something, and especially in Japan, people like to shorten things quite
Mm,
randomly. And it's like
yeah.
from English, the origin, and then they just use, I mean, this is a very old example, but Arubaito, and it's just baito, which quite interestingly was shortened in Korean as alba. So every culture
Really?
chooses different abbreviations. I don't know why. Yeah, in
Yeah,
Korean it's alba, and in Japanese baito. So, which was quite, but
pretty
probably
cool.
nowadays it's something different. I don't know. Maybe it's
I
jokusuru.
personally love testing my students with when we are practicing katakana writing. And because katakana most of the times express the loan words from
Mm,
English, from German, from other languages. Technically, they would be able to understand what they mean, but the problem is in the phonetic reading, and
yes.
it sometimes sounds completely different as what they used to hear in the other languages. So, like a lot of the times, it happens like my students read a word like McDonald's, and they don't understand what it is. It's McDonald's. Or the last time we were talking about Aristoteles, which is
Okay.
Aristotle, I think, something like that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
I
the
think
same
it's
name from the Greek
yeah,
philosopher.
yeah.
But my student couldn't figure it out, and he was like, "What is that?" And then later on, slowly, slowly, I would explain it, and yeah, they would
Yeah, well,
figure
but
it out.
real names of people is really tough to learn because in
Mm.
German it's Aristoteles, so it's completely different from English. I think it's Aristotle, isn't it? So
Hmm.
maybe even if I heard this in English and didn't know what they were talking about, I'd probably have a hard time to understand that this was just a person's name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what the real pronunciation of his name is. Is it Old Greek,
In Greek
probably?
from that
Yes.
time.
Yeah. I have no idea. So probably
Yeah.
isn't correct anyway. Ah, that's quite interesting. Yeah. Aristoteles, right? Yeah, but I have a hard time to understand in Japanese when they have just shortened words. Now I get
Mm.
a little grasp of it, or I look it up. But something like if you hear for the first time, like sekuhara, you have absolutely no idea what this means, that this is a short form for
Uh-huh.
sexual harassment, isn't it? And then it's like, please don't do, I don't know, kasuhara, customer harassment. How are you supposed to know this? I don't know.
And the funny thing is, kasu in Japanese would mean some, I don't know, useless person, not talented or anything.
Well,
So Kasuhara kind of sounds
yeah, it's weird,
interesting
isn't
as
it?
well.
See, something I've learned today. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
So I sometimes have a hard time. I can completely understand what your students are going through. Just like standing
mm,
there, and I don't know what you mean.
yeah, they're doing great.
Wonderful.
I'm always impressed. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not so impressed with a lot of my students and their English abilities because a lot of times when your English is not too bad, you can lean in for German, like if you see the word trinken and English drink means to get something down your throat when you're thirsty. And they don't seem to connect this. So they ask me, what does it mean? And
Hmm.
I'm like, you do understand that this is almost like English, right? And
Yeah.
it's about tea and juice and coffee and milk. So what do you usually do with this? It's like even the situational awareness is not there. What do you do with coffee and tea and water most of the time? You drink it, right? So it's like, why don't you understand? I don't know. We're on this for 45 minutes and then they ask me, what does drink mean? What is
Yeah.
trinken? What do you mean, what is trinken? You use this now in 5 different sentences. And why don't you look it up? I sometimes don't
But I
understand
also
my
feel
students.
like the sound shift between those languages is
Yeah,
different from, you know,
of
if you
course it
would
is.
compare Japanese and Korean, so it might be hard for them to
Of
understand as
course
well.
it is. But now you
But
understand that a verb in German has en. And if you see ich trinke Tee, I drink tea, maybe when the whole subject is drinking and eating, it might mean to drink. I
Mhm.
would assume so when learning a new language, but kind of no. Yeah, quite interesting.
Mm.
I understand, of course.
Yeah,
I don't
it is.
understand a lot of words that the Japanese use from English or German or sometimes French either. So that pun comes from it's French, isn't it? Pun,
Hmm. It is.
probably. Yeah. And I usually laugh at this because they write it pain in French, right? So
That's true.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, French bread is probably pain
Mm.
compared to German bread. I will die on that hill. German bread is better than French bread. So I'm sorry.
I know a lot of people say that. There was
Yeah.
one time where my students would visit Japan for 2 weeks, I think, and they were
Mm.
taking a bunch of pictures and sending me like hundreds pictures per day. And then after they came back, I asked them in the class, like, how was it? Try to explain it in simple Japanese, and they
Yeah.
did a very good job. And then they, I don't know, started looking so as if like a 5-year-old child who did something wrong, very bad. And then one of them was looking at me like this and like, I'm so sorry, but I couldn't live without looking for a really good German bakery in Tokyo. And I went there, or we went there every second day. And I was like, I mean, that's not really a problem, but I could imagine that a lot of people do that. And I've heard of, from my German friends as well. And I personally think it as well, like the German bread quality is quite good.
Yeah. I mean, the French can have everything. I don't care. But the bread is
The bread, no,
pretty good
it's ours.
in German. Yeah. Bread and cake. They
Okay.
can have everything else. They can have their stews and their, I don't know, snails and three-star cuisine. I don't care. But bread and cake is really what we can. We're not very good at anything else, but bread and cake, we'll do it quite well.
Mm,
That's our food. And maybe sausages.
yeah,
But then Poland is also very good at making sausages. So yeah, that's
hard to
very
say.
interesting. Yeah, but I can completely understand. I know I don't want, I know I love Japanese food. I love Korean food and I love a lot of other foods, but I need once in a while a bread that has some real crust, something that says
Not the
when you
soft
bite in it.
toasts.
Yes, I'm sorry. This is not bread, this is toast. Yeah. And I actually enjoy once in a while a shokupan and I don't know what this is called, and bread to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I
Shoku.
enjoy this. So once in a while, but This is not real bread to me. This is toast to me, which you can eat. It's wonderful, but not every day. And I can't eat rice
But
every day.
where do you get German bread in Japan
I
around
bake it
Tokyo?
myself.
Ah, that makes sense.
It's cost
So you need a
effective and
skill for
very good.
survival. Mm.
Yes, it is. And it's rather easy to make if you have all the ingredients. And I usually find bread, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Bread flour. That a lot of bread flour has German names or French names. So for example, or sometimes it's Italian, like dolce. This is for baking, but they have Roggen, rye flour. This is usually just written in Roggen,
Mm-hmm.
Roggen Komugi or something, which is like, yes, great. We love Roggen, right? We love rye. Yeah.
Yeah. So to all of your students, if they want to give you something nice, bake a German bread for her. But just
Just give
practice
me the
first,
flour,
maybe.
please.
Okay.
I bake it myself. Just give me the flour. That's more than enough.
There's a
But I love
trust issue.
to, yes, there is. I love to bake a lot, and I also give a lot to my students and to my colleagues and my friends, because I can't eat all of it. But yeah, if you want something, you can just ask. I will bake it for you. But please don't bake something if you don't know how to do it. I'll be thankful. What is this called in Japanese? It's temae, that when you
On
kind of have your
tatemae,
tatemae. Yes, I'm
yeah,
sorry,
on the
tatemae.
surface when they
Yes, then you're like,
look
oh, thank you very
nice,
much. That's
kind.
really nice. But then I will never eat it.
Inside you're
Yeah, I'm dying
making, yeah,
inside.
using swear words.
It's not that bad, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Is there anything
Okay,
that you
so
would like to eat in Tokyo from Europe?
in Tokyo, not really. I'm one of those people, they clearly are not that many people, but all of my friends who come to Europe for something for long terms,
Mm,
they always say on the third day that they miss Japanese food.
mm,
And I've been here for like about 5 years, and I never said that. The only thing that I gradually from time to time want to eat is like rice related as like the
okay.
bread for you. But it's actually just simple things. I make some onigiris with my friends when I'm around with some Japanese friends or my students or something. I don't know. And some of my German students, like they're Germans, learning Japanese from me, they told me that making chicken nambam, which is chicken with some kind of sauce,
Mm.
that they make a lot in Japan, and it tastes quite good. It's actually easy to make, which I didn't know.
Oh, really?
And I doubted it at the beginning, like, there's no way it's so easy to make. And then my students kept saying that it's really easy, and they make it almost, I don't know, quite often, maybe every weekend. And
Wow.
I was like, okay, then maybe I should give it a try once. It was super easy to make. So, and it's really good. So I made it a few times.
Mm.
And yeah, things like that can happen. I learn a lot from my students, but I don't really need Japanese food as much. Like once in a while, rice, but it doesn't even have to be anything Japanese. I just randomly eat it with something else, with fish,
Okay.
with
Interesting.
vegetables, with meat.
Because when
Yeah.
I was in Korea as a student, my Japanese roommate and other Japanese friends were saying that even the Korean rice was not good enough.
Mm.
It has to be the Japanese
Yeah.
rice. For me, it was all the
Yeah,
same. It's like, yeah, it's
absolutely.
rice. I would just
I
like
know
some
the
bread.
difference. I know the difference, and all my friends say the same thing. Like when they're from Japan, they need Japanese rice.
Yeah.
But when I sometimes intentionally bring, milk rice,
Yeah,
it's a certain type of rice for German sweets that I don't really like because I
I
cannot
understand.
imagine myself eating rice with in sweet taste
Mm.
flavor. Okay, but that one's really good. That one goes really close to the Japanese rice.
Mm.
And I once cooked something for my Japanese friend with that, and she didn't even realize that it wasn't Japanese rice. And she was like, "Oh, I'm so happy to eat Japanese rice. I don't remember the last time I had it." And I was like, "It's not a Japanese
Yeah.
rice." And she was like,
Mhm.
"Yeah,
Yeah, I also
depressed."
tell my students who go to Germany or Switzerland or so to do 1, 2, or 3 years of living there, they should look for Milchreis because it's cheap
Yeah,
and they can
it
just
is.
use it as their normal rice without milk in it. Yeah, I also
Mm-hmm.
don't like milk rice. What is this? Is it rice pudding in English? Probably, right?
Might
Or
be.
is it different? I don't know. I don't like any of this. So I don't know.
Yeah, quite a few people try to convince me into trying it. I haven't yet because I still need to, work on understanding the concept first, and then
Yeah,
I
I
might
understand.
try.
I
But
actually tried it 2 weeks ago because one of my colleagues made it and he actually let his students try and they were surprisingly fond of it. At first they were like,
hmm,
I don't want to try it, but they were like, it's not that bad after all. And
okay.
I tried it because I didn't like it as a child, but when you get older, kind of things, get a little different. You kind of start to like things you hated as a child, but still rice pudding is not there. It's just really, really weird. Rice and then
Hmm,
this milk flavor. No, thank
yeah.
you.
So we'll see if I'm going to try it at some point in my life. Maybe it's not
Yes,
too bad. At least I like grießbrei. My brother loves it a lot. It's
I
something
also
similar,
hate
I
it.
would say, but
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my God. No, thank you. We should
Cool.
have one
So
deep dive on food.
yeah, maybe
What is the worst that we
cultural
can eat? Yes,
in different cultures. Cool.
absolutely.
I live really close to a church here, so it's 12 now in my
Okay,
place, and it's gonna get super loud now. So I think we should stop.
that's
So thank you
okay.
so much for
We
watching,
can pray.
listening.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
I hope you
much.
can still hear me. Thank you so much, and see you next time.
See you
Bye.
next time. Bye bye.